Bar Radio.
Good morning to everybody tuning in. I am Isaiah Rosario with your weekend sports recap, discussing everything that happened this weekend in sports, from the MLB to the NFL to the college football playoffs, longscape, and current games that happened this past weekend. But first, we're going to start off with the game of the year, possibly, that happened on Friday between the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers, the 15-inning game, which is insane in a game 5, winner take all. You know, those catchers' legs are dead. We're dead, and it was just a long game, 15 innings. Score was 2-3, advancing the Mariners to the ALCS, who went on to win game 1 yesterday, which we will talk about a little bit more later. But again, it's in a 15-inning game. The Tigers going 8 for 15, batting 157 in a series clincher is not something, obviously, that's going to be ideal. Striking out 17 times again. It was a longer, extended inning game, so you can expect a little bit more high on the strikeouts. But again, you got 10 left on base, which is not something ideal. But even the Mariners, they've had a lot left on base too. They got 12 left on base, 20 strikeouts. But again, more than half those strikeouts were recorded to Tariq Skubal, who is insane. Did everything he really can in that game to put the Tigers in a place to win. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough because the offense really couldn't do anything in 15 innings. Both offenses really couldn't do much. I mean, that whole series, it was not a lot of runs scored in the first 2 games. But then it really picked up in the next 2, with the Tigers scoring 9 to win game 4, and then the Mariners winning in game 3, scoring 8 runs, and the Tigers also scoring 4. But again, that was more of like a pitcher's duel early. It was always going to come down to the pitching. It was going to be always Skubal. I mean, that's what you wanted. You had Skubal on the bump for 2 of the 5 games. But then the Mariners' rotation, I think, in pitching staff was a bit too much for the Mariners, or for the Tigers, excuse me, because they have a great rotation 1 through 4. And now they're getting Brian Wu back for the ALCS in the mid part of the series, which is something that is ideal if you're a Mariners fan, and something that's good to hear because he's been one of the best pitchers on that staff this year, and it's been really great to see. And now he's healthy and he's going to make an impact. And it's looking like another pitcher's like dual-ish series between the Blue Jays, because again, both of those starting rotations are really good. I mean, now they got that Kid Savage, who feels comfortable on the bump as a rookie, striking out, I think it was 12 or 11 or 12 against the Yankees, and they have him now in that rotation. They got Gossman, now they got Bassett, they got Scherzer coming back. Savage is the probable starter today. 0 ERA, 11 strikeouts against the Yankees in his 1 playoff start. And the Mariners are going to have their hands full, and so are the Blue Jays. They're going to have Logan Gilbert on the bump. And I mean, I think the offenses of both teams need to really step up. If you're the Blue Jays, you really can't lose this game. You don't want to go down 2-0, especially when you're going back to Seattle. That's something that's not really ideal. Especially with the rotation that they're going to have. They're going to have probably Luis Castillo pitching game 3, and then you got Brian Wu game 4. So those are two pitchers you really don't want to face when you're going into the playoffs. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to try to score early and get more than 1 run on the board in like the first inning. Let me see just what inning, just to confirm what inning. Yeah, it was only that 1 leadoff home run. And then they had 1 hit after that, which is something that's not great. I mean, you need to score runs. And I know Gossman was dealing, so you kind of wasted his start. But again, Bobby Miller also pitched phenomenal as well. But overall, you got to score more than 1 run, and you got to try to have chances. You can't really do chances and stuff like that where you're not even getting on base and not even being able to score runs, which doesn't help your team's chances. And with the pitching staff like the Mariners, it's going to be a little bit difficult to really score runs. So you got to try to capitalize your chances now and be able to really showcase what your batting lineup has, because you do have great batters in your lineup. Again, you have George Springer, you have Vlad. Kirk has been good during the postseason so far. I mean, it was a tough game yesterday. You got Santander, who's a good hitter, hasn't been up to par this year. But again, you got the lineup. You got to make sure you attack him early, and you got to get that lead early because you guys do have a good pitching staff. You got to get that run support for your Savage early if you want to win. But again, if you go down 0-2 and you split at Seattle, it's going to be very difficult to come back from. And then speaking of, we also have game one of the NLCS versus the Dodgers and the Brewers tonight. I think the Dodgers again are they're just the team to beat. And again, I think they're going to take one on the road and then they're going to take two in LA. And it's going to be a quick series. I mean, the Brewers are good. They have the momentum going right now, but so do the Dodgers. But I don't know if the pitching can really handle the Dodgers lineup 1 through 9. Again, that lineup is just disgusting. I don't know how you can really find a way to pitch around that lineup. And it's tough. I mean, you have Freddie Freeman, you have Shohei Ohtani, you got Mookie Betts. Teoscar has been putting up great numbers this postseason. Max Muncy has been doing well. Miguel Rojas has been hitting well. And when you look at they have the pitching staff to do so as well. I mean, you got Glass now, you got Yamamoto, you got Ohtani back on the bump, and you got Roki coming out of the pen now, and it's a tough lineup 1 through 9, and the pitching staff is good as well. I think that's the one thing that's going to limit the Milwaukee Brewers is the pitching staff. I mean, the lineup has been hitting well, but this is a different pitching staff than you face when you face the Cubs. I mean, it's night and day difference. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. I think the Dodgers are going to take that one, and we'll see. It's gonna be a good day of baseball. We got 2 championship games today, so it's gonna be the 5 o'clock and then 8 o'clock. So, and then you also got Monday Night Football tonight. So that's also gonna be something you're happy to watch and happy to see. And now we're gonna go over to the NFL and possibly what could have been one of the greatest momentum shifters. I want to say momentum shifters, but that the Chiefs, like they looked great yesterday. They held that Lions offense to crickets in that second half. They really couldn't do much at all in that second half. But that Kansas City team, I think they're back. I mean, now you're getting Rashee Rice back off suspension, and then you have the defense playing as well as they did. Um, and I mean, Kansas City, you can't stop Mahomes. He still is, I think, the greatest QB that we've seen in the 2020s. I mean, there's no other way to really put it. I mean, the 2010s, you can't obviously say anything because of Brady. But again, when you're looking at holding an offense like the Detroit Lions to 17 points, and you're not known for their offense, or the Chiefs aren't known for their defense, excuse me. They're known for that offense that they could score and outscore you. They held them to 17 points, under 300 total yards, which is a great thing to look forward to if you're Chiefs fans, because that offense of the Detroit Lions is one of the best offenses in the league. They have so many weapons from Montgomery to Williams to Amon-Ra to Jahmyr Gibbs. They got Laporta. Like their whole offense is just ridiculous. And you find a way to hold them to 17 points and hold them to only 7 in that second half, which was key. And you scoring every quarter too, which is nice. Nice to see if you're the offense and scoring 30 points again when it wasn't the best offensive showings besides the last few games. You looked well, but again, start of the year wasn't great. So I think this is a great sign if you're Chiefs fans. The Jaguars game is obviously a little bit of a heartbreaker. I think you definitely could have won that game. If you scored in that third quarter, it would have been a completely different game. You went on a, excuse me, you scored no points in that third quarter, which is something that isn't ideal when you're facing a Jaguars team. And in the AFC South, who knows if they have playoff implications. But now you're 3-3, looking good on the year. We'll check their schedule real quick to see who else they got coming up. So yeah, I mean, you got the Raiders, which is going to be an easy win. The Commanders is going to be a tough game on Monday Night Football, but it's going to be a great game. Those two offenses can really score points, and I think it's going to be a matter of which defense really steps up again. So if the Chiefs played like they did last night, holding the Lions to 17 points, just making that Lions offense just look completely lost. I mean, it was something I've really never seen out of that Lions offense before, that just like lost. It wasn't something that you're typically seeing out of this Lions offense. But again, if you're the Lions, you're fine. It was just a tough game against the Chiefs. you're still going to win the NFC North. I mean, you're sitting at 4-2 right now, second in the AFC North behind the Packers. Um, but again, I think you'll be fine. I think you're going to play the Packers back in a few weeks. Let's see when they play them, actually. Yeah, so you play them November 27th, so it's about a month and a half away. But then you're in Detroit, so that's going to be a very big game as well because you want to make sure that it's more than a tiebreaker in the NFC North when it comes down to January. So that's going to be a big game in November. Then you don't have to deal with them in December, which is nice. But the Lions are going to be fine. I think it's going to be just a matter of time before they find their groove again. Again, scoring 31 points per game, second most in the league, is behind the Colts, who have also been just phenomenal this year. We'll talk about them a little bit more, and the Bills are right on your tail in terms of points per game. But again, I think you'll be fine. So if you're the Lions, you're fine. The offense will find its groove again. It's the Chiefs are the Chiefs. When you're playing an Arrowhead too, it doesn't really help the cause that you're playing in such a tough environment, and you know the fans are going to be rowdy there. So you'll find your groove one way or another. And another team that is in their groove right now, and I think can be a potential NFC champion, is the Buccaneers. Their offense is to be reckoned with, and it's scary because they don't have all their pieces, but Baker Mayfield's still managing to find a way to do what he's doing without all his key pieces. Like Abuka got hurt yesterday. You have no Godwin, you have no Mike Evans, and I think seeing that, and you have no Bucky Irving as well, and you're doing it with the offense that you have right now. Once they are healthy, I think they could be one of the best, if not the best, offense in the league because you got so many weapons on that team, and Baker's doing Baker things. I think he's up for MVP talk right now, along with another quarterback I think that's underrated for MVP, which we'll talk about in a few minutes as well. But that offense dismantled the 49ers. I know the 49ers were injury riddled this last few weeks, and now Warner's out for the year with the dislocated ankle, I think, or something with his leg. It was one of the two. But again, the Bucks offense, they're a good team. I mean, I don't know what team can really match their offense, at least on the NFC side, besides the Lions. I mean, when you look at the standings, real quick, we'll check those out real quick. NFC. Again, I don't think the Bucks are first right now in the NFC. I don't think as of right now, besides the Lions, I mean Puka's hurt now on the Rams, but besides the Lions, I really don't know who could match that offense. I mean, the Packers defense can hold them, but I just don't know what team is really going to hold the Bucks. But seeing Baker Mayfield in the playoffs is also going to be fun to see when he gets there because he will get there. I don't think there's a team in the NFC South that could really match what that team could do. I mean, they're 5-1. They've got the Panthers at 3-3 and the Falcons at 2-2. So the NFC South is theirs to lose. But again, I don't think anyone's stopping that offense. Baker Mayfield is, as of right now, I would like to think. I think he is the MVP favorite. I don't know what the odds are right now and look who's there. I know Lamar was up there before he got hurt. And the Ravens are done too. That's another topic. But yeah, I think Baker is the clear-cut MVP right now in the league. I mean, it's great to see what he's doing, especially with the people he has on that field, because all of his main guys are hurt. So I think it's definitely nice to see what Baker's doing, and I think he's going to continue to do what he's doing. I mean, no matter who's on the field, he's got that dog in him, and he's going to continue to perform at an MVP level and take his team hopefully far and get to a conference championship with a chance to play in the Super Bowl. And another team that is continuing to play well that just scratched out a win was the Colts. The Colts are still Danny Dimes led Colts. I mean, 31 points on a okay Cardinals defense. But I think it's more of the matter of having the weapons, and Tyler Warren is a great pickup for the Colts. I think 1 touchdown, 6 receptions, 63 yards. He was a good pickup for the Colts. I think the Colts needed that extra offensive weapon with Jonathan Taylor, who's also playing at an insane level, putting up offensive player of the year type numbers, 123 rushing yards yesterday, 4 receptions for 14 yards. I think those three are going to be the reason why if the Colts do anything well, that's going to be why. I think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor because no one's stopping him. Let's see his numbers throughout the year. I don't think he's put up under Yeah, he has not put up under 80 rushing yards this whole year. 98, 215, 118, 96, 86, 137. How are you stopping that? In the game, he had 86 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I think he's also up for offensive player of the year as well because he's doing this and just not getting stopped. And he's helping lead the Colts to a 5-1 record, first in the AFC South, right in front of the Jaguars at 4-2. Let's see when they play each other because that's going to be definitely a game to kind of watch. See when they play. It looks like they play late in the year. So yeah, the first game is December 7th in Jacksonville, and then you play again a few weeks later, December 28th in Indianapolis. So you got to keep winning, and then if you're the Colts, because I mean, no one's really going to stop you for a few weeks. I think. I mean, the Chargers are good, but they looked iffy. Um, Barely beating out the Dolphins, and if it wasn't for that third quarter where the Chargers scored 14 unanswered, the Dolphins find a way to win that game. But you also can't go scoreless. You got to get some points on the board, which a field goal there would have been the difference in the game, and you would have played differently in that fourth quarter. The Chargers again looked iffy. You barely scratch out a win against the really, really, really bad Dolphins, and but I mean, it was a weird week in the NFL. I felt like the early slate wasn't the best television. It was that midday slate and that Sunday Night Football slate and Monday Night Football today. That's going to be the slate that everyone's going to be tuned in for. But again, the Chargers, I don't think the Chargers are that good anymore. They had that hot start to the year, but they were easily could have found a way to lose that game and easily could have found a way to lose the Broncos game. And you lose to the Giants by 3. But I mean, I don't know. I think the Chargers are their luck has run out. They don't look good. I think at this point in the year, I mean, it's still early. Still got a lot of football left to play, but this is the time where you really determine who your football team is. And these last few games haven't been in favor of Justin Herbert. So I could see them falling down very quickly. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough time to be a Chargers fan, but what else can you say really? But again, another MVP candidate that I said I was going to talk about, I think, is Drake May. Drake May has looked phenomenal. He's took that extra step up this year, leading a not great offense in the Bucks. Excuse me. I'm still thinking about the other MVP candidate in the Patriots. I mean, you have Stephon Diggs, and that RB room it's just kind of messy. I mean, there's really no clear running back one. Everyone's saying it's Trayvon Henderson. But I don't know. I mean, it's a weird offense, but Drake May has looked really good. A passer rating of 140, 9 carries for 28 rushing yards. That kid, Kendrick Boutte, I think that's how you Kayshon Boutte. He played really well yesterday. Drake May found him twice in the end zone. Stephon Diggs took a little bit of a step down. But it's been great to see Drake May and perform the way he has, leading the team to 4-2. He's right on the Bills' tail. I mean, they beat Josh Allen in Highmark. It's gonna be ruckus when they go down to New England because I think the fans have something to root for that hasn't been seen in such a long time. But that offense, I mean, the defense has played better as of late, but again, it was a tough matchup against the Saints. I mean, the Saints they're a good team, but they're going to be one of those teams that are always on your tail. They're going to make every game close. But I think it all comes down to Drake May and making sure his passing game has been phenomenal. I mean, he's getting all of his guys targets. He had Stephon Diggs going ballistic last week. And he finds his guys. I mean, if it's one guy has a day off, he's going to find the other guys to make sure they eat and do well. I mean, Kayshon Boutte going for almost 19 yards per reception, which is ridiculous. So he's going deep. And same thing with Demario Douglas. His average reception was 24 last night. So, I mean, Demario Douglas is another sneaky little wide receiver who's shown signs of greatness. But I think on this offense now with a great quarterback in Drake May, it's gonna be, I think, something to watch out for. I think this Patriots team is gonna make some noise. They're gonna be a sneaky little playoff team. And when it comes to January, I don't think you want to face Drake May and the Patriots. Their defense holds down when they're on. Um, but like I was saying, I mean, let's see how many takeaways they had last night. 2 sacks, 4 QB hits, 1 forced fumble, 3 fumble recoveries. So I mean, they only allow 73 rushing yards. And if you're a team that has a great running back and you face this Patriots defense, you're gonna have to learn to throw the ball because I think that's also what ate the Saints a little bit too. Spencer Rattler, he's a good QB, but he's not gonna find a way to throw the ball. But that's how you're gonna beat this Patriots defense is throwing the ball. But their rush defense, you're not gonna do anything on that defense on the rushing side of the ball because they're holding everybody down to less than 100 rushing yards and holding these running backs down. And that D line is something to be messed with. And like I was saying, it's gonna be tough to beat this Patriots team. I think come January. I think they got the roster that they're young. They want to run and gun. They want to beat you. And I mean, at this point, I think they had nothing to lose because no one expected them to be this good, but they are this good. I think it's really great to see just that level of Drake May really stepped up to. And I think next week and the following, they're going to be 6-2. I mean, you're playing the Titans and then you're playing the Browns, and then you go into November, they could be 7-2, and then you face a really tough Buccaneers team. I think that's going to be also another real big test for Drake May. Is can he outscore that Buccaneers offense? But even if they lose that game, you're going to be sitting at 7-3, and then you got games against the Jets, and then you got games against the Bengals. I mean, there's a world where they look like 9-3 going into December. That's something I never thought I would say. But again, it's this Patriots team can make a lot of noise. It could be one of the best teams in the AFC, and they'll make some noise. I'm happy for Drake May, and I'm happy for all the Boston fans that haven't really experienced great play since Brady left. But now they got their guy. Now they got their QB. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the New York Jets. I mean, what else can go wrong for New York Jets? I mean, the defense played well yesterday, held a good offense in the Broncos, relatively low scoring. A lot of them only scored 13 points, but God, Justin Fields is bad. He's really bad. I mean, I don't know what else there is to really say um about this Jets team, but the sides are just bad. If I'm Garrett Wilson, I want out of there. I mean, for a wide receiver of your caliber, I know he says he loves being in New York. They gave him a chance. They took the chance on him as a college kid coming into the biggest market in the US. But God, man, I think you need to go. I mean, your talent's getting wasted year after year. You can't find a solid QB that's going to help you to the best of your abilities. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I don't know what else there is to really say about this Jets team scoring only 11 points. I mean, I know the Broncos defense is a good defense, but you got to do more than 11 points. And Justin Fields, you got to throw for at least more than 45 yards, dude. I mean, even Brees Hall really didn't get to do much either. But at the same time, you got to do something, man. I don't know what needs to change because it seems like year after year, you're finding things to change and bringing in Aaron Glenn, who's a great head coach. Well, I thought he was great at least, but now having the Jets winless through 6 games and just they could easily find a way to lose like every game. And I'm not even a Jets fan. I just feel bad because I have a lot of friends who are Jets fans. Um, but it's difficult, man. I mean, they're gonna lose to the Panthers, which is hilarious for me to say because I don't know, they could beat the Bengals, but now with Joe Flacco in there, once he gets affiliated into that offense, the Bengals will be fine. They'll win a few games, but man, it's bad to be a Jets fan, and their schedule isn't that hard either in November or December. December, you got a couple hard games against the Patriots and the Dolphins. You're gonna win that. You should win that game, but I don't know. And then you face the Jags. I mean, their schedule was not hard this year, really, and you still managed to find a way just to lose. I mean, it was hard to start the year. Yes, don't get me wrong, but God, the Jets stink. Like it's bad, and I don't even like. Everyone's always saying, "Oh, morning football," but when you watch a 13-11 game and you have to wake up for that, it's something you don't even want to watch. I mean, I don't know who wants to clearly watch it. Because God, those Jets stink. I feel so sorry for all the Jets fans. Um, but on that team, I was looking at their record, and I don't think it really matched just how okay and how middle of the pack this team is. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers? They haven't really faced off against crazy talent. I was looking just at the schedule. I'm like, I mean, those are games you should all win, and they're at 1-4 right now, top of the AFC North. And they also got lucky that Lamar got hurt because they would have not been first in the AFC North. But again, looking at their schedule, you beat the Browns, you beat the Vikings, you beat the Patriots, which, in my opinion, I think if you face the Patriots right now, you're losing that game. You got killed by the Seahawks by 14, and then you barely beat the New York Jets, which should say a lot about your team. But again, I think it's just a weird, like easy schedule. I mean, you face the Bengals, which you should win on Thursday Night Football. You should beat them, but then you go and face Green Bay at home. I mean, that's a game you should lose, and I think that's going to really show who this team really is. And then November's a gauntlet. November's a gauntlet, and they're going to go back to earth in November. I mean, looking at the schedule in November, you got the Colts, and then you got the Chargers, and then you got the Bengals again, and then you got the Bears, and then you got the Bills. I mean, that's a gauntlet schedule. I mean, I think they're going to fall back down to earth in November, and they're just going to be the average Pittsburgh team that's going to find its way to go 9-8 once again and squeak into the playoffs just to lose in the wild card round. It's going to be the same cycle again with these Steelers, and we'll see. I mean, I don't think there's really no competition. But hey, what can you really do? And then again, the story of the weekend came from college football. It was from Penn State losing to Northwestern, and then that loss from Penn State resulting in the head coach James Franklin losing his job and being fired. Penn State fired him on Sunday. I think it was expected. Um, yeah, I mean James Franklin is just not a good coach. I mean he's year after year you bring in top tier talent, and year after year you find a way to fail and have a failure of a year. I mean we could look. I'll look at his year by year and Penn State's record year by year since he joined. But I mean, you bring in top tier talent every single year and you manage to find nothing to do with it. I mean, I think they need change at Penn State. I know the fans are happy that he's gone. I know the fans were chanting "Fire Franklin" at the game, and they got what they wished for. He's no longer the head coach, and I didn't read yet about what they're gonna do with that vacant position. I'm assuming they're just gonna hire within rather than trying to find a coach. But it also raises the question as well for Franklin: are you going to continue to coach the NFL? Because he had a bag for the buyout. His buyout was 48 million, so he's going to be set for life now. So yeah, let's just take a look at Penn State's football record by year and see when the correlated with Franklin being there. So we're gonna just see what year Franklin came into. He was hired 2014 to 2025. So in 2014, the Pinstripe Bowl, just a bunch of bowl games. I mean, and then when you get to the college football playoffs, it's so funny just to see because you're in the college football playoffs. You win in the first two games. You win against Boise State, which is a team you should demolish. And in the first round, you beat Southern Methodist, which obviously is a team you should beat. And then you lose in the Orange Bowl, and then the Peach Bowl, looking at Penn State losing to Mississippi as a 10th ranked team at the time. And then in the Rose Bowl, you beat Utah, which obviously you should beat Utah. But it seems like with all the talent he brings in and how good this team is, they just never really done anything. And you lose in the Outback Bowl in what year was that? In 2022, you lost to Arkansas by 14. I mean, you weren't ranked at the time, but again, I think you should be. I mean, that's an SEC school. They were ranked 22nd at the time, but I don't know. I mean, James Franklin never really took his coaching over that hump that he needed to. I mean, he wasn't that coach. I think I don't. There was always that feeling that he was never able to win the big games, and he was struggled in all of his coaching career with actually performing well when you needed to most. And I think it was a matter of time. I know the Penn State posted that they were thankful for him, but at the same time, I think the players and I can't speak for them, but I think that they were kind of happy to see Franklin to go, and I think that change needed to be made, especially now that Drew Aller's out for the year, and it's a tough time to be a Penn State fan, and but hey, things are looking up because I think Franklin was never going to take you over the top, and it was going to be just something that really was needed, I think, at this time, and they got what they were looking for. And we're going to transfer to a couple other games now because we shouldn't really keep it on Franklin the whole time and his terrible coaching staff. But USC and Michigan, USC owned Michigan throughout that whole game. That's something that I wasn't expecting. They were favored to win, but not by. They were favored to win by 3 points, and they ended up beating them by 18. It was them have in full control the whole game. Bryce Underwood didn't look. It looked okay, but he's known for more of his run game, and he got nothing on the run game going for him at all in that game. That USC line held him down, and one of the best top 30 defense in the country in rushing yards allowed per game. 48th in opponents' points per game at just above 21. I mean, that USC team is good. Third in the Big Ten right now. 20th in the country right now too, and beating a Michigan team who was 15th. Who is 15th, I guess now. But again, that was a good win if you're USC. I mean, that's a win you really needed if you want to really kind of stay in that college football playoff contention, and that's what you got. And now for the LSU offense, I mean, they don't look great. I mean, only scoring 20 points against South Carolina. But every other game they haven't eclipsed over 24 points. And when you're facing the power teams, you're barely scratching 20 points. I mean, when you're facing Power 5, you face Clemson, only scored 17. You face Louisiana Tech, you only scored 23. And when you face another Power 4 team in Florida, you only get 20. And then when you face Southern Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, you score 56, which you're expected to do. You're a top 3 team in the country at the time. And then when you go to Ole Miss, you end up only scoring 20. And then when South Carolina comes to you, you're only going to score 20 as well. I mean, and then you got Vandy, who's 17th ranked right now, who's going to give you a fight. I mean, that's going to be a tough matchup. You're in Tennessee for that game. I mean, Vandy's coming off a tough game against Alabama, who, mind you, I think is a title contender. They look good, man. I think they're one of the top teams in that SEC. They're up there, man. That defense is spectacular. They're getting stops when they needed to, but I mean, it's great. I mean, Vandy also had a difficult time against that Alabama defense, and Missouri also had a really difficult time this week against that defense. I mean, they had an interception late, which was the key to the game. They could have easily went down to kick a field goal, but threw that interception to send it to overtime. Again, that Alabama team looks good. I mean, Ty Simpson obviously doesn't have the greatest arm in the world. He's the 15th in the country in passing yards, but I think this is an Alabama team that's going to be reckoned with. I mean, going against Vandy, throwing for 340 yards, and then throwing at Wisconsin, throwing for 380. So he does have that arm, but I still want to see it against a top tier team. I mean, Vandy is a good team, but Alabama's always had Vandy's number. They always seem to know exactly what they need to do to to win against Vandy. I mean, Vandy hasn't had competition against Bama for. I mean, they rushed the field when they won against Vandy. I think it was last year that they rushed the field and beat Bama. But again, that's how you just shows how much Alabama has Vandy's number. When they had to just rush the field and they were going ballistic in Nashville over there. But again, I think it's more of a matter of how good the Alabama defense is and how far the Alabama defense can really carry that team to a potential chip. And I think they have the pieces to it. I still need to see a little bit more from Simpson at quarterback. I know he's put up good numbers, but I want to see him against a top tier team. And when you go to November, you're playing LSU. That's another good one. Oklahoma. Um, I mean, they have a decent schedule in their favor. I mean, they're home 3 of the last 4 games in November. And then you're home against Tennessee. I think I want to see how they play against Tennessee this week to really solidify my thinking because right now they're number 6 in the nation. They beat Georgia as well. But Ty Simpson's a good QB, but I just want to see him in one more high end game. I think it's going to be that Tennessee game for me that really solidifies my chances of thinking how this team is going to do come college football playoff time. Because I think right now, if they continue to play the way they are a college football playoff lock and a team that no one wants to really see in the college football playoffs. I mean they got Texas A&M also at 4, and you got Ole Miss at 5. So we'll see. I mean, they lucked out by not playing Ole Miss this year or playing A&M. So they should. I think they're gonna walk to going undefeated the rest of the way. You're home against Tennessee this week, which is gonna be the real test. I mean, South Carolina is not a test, and then LSU at Bama is gonna be a good game, and then Oklahoma just lost to Texas. And talking about Texas, I think that game saved Arch. He didn't play his best, but he was gonna get the fire lit under him if he did not play well, and he played okay. I mean, he did the best he can against the Oklahoma team, and I think he still needs that extra year because he looked okay. I mean, he still doesn't look the greatest. I mean, it's something I think it's gonna need another year of just being in a college system, seeing if you can really handle um playing at such a high level. I know the lights were the brightest on him, and he wanted that. He didn't transfer out. He wanted to stay at Texas. He stayed behind Quinn Ewers, but it was more or less that defense of Texas holding Oklahoma to 6 points. Because that Oklahoma offense can really score points on you, and holding them to 6 points is great. I mean, 2 field goals. Um, but yeah, I think it's more or less the matter of was it 3 to 26? I can't really. My app is kind of might be messed up. So let me just check. Oklahoma versus Texas. So it was 6 to 23. Okay, so my app just didn't have them scoring in that first quarter that I'm using to check here. So I was a little confused for a second there, but yeah, I mean, I think it was more a matter of their defense holding Oklahoma to 258 yards and only 48 rushing yards, which is great, and barely scraping 200 passing yards. Um, I mean, Texas is now back, I would think, for a little bit. We'll have to see. They pick Kentucky this week, which should be a win. I think they're out of the college football playoff contention, unfortunately, but they could get right back into it. I mean, it depends on how they do in November. I mean, if you win two out of Vanderbilt, Georgia, or A&M, I think they have maybe a shot. They're not officially out, but again, I think they're out after their loss last week um, to Florida. But I mean, all it takes is 2 of those ranked wins, and I think they're right back in the mix. Because again, they are a good team, but I think they just need Arch to step up. And I think those are going to be the games if we're going to see the real Arch or we're going to see the Arch that needs to stay another year at Texas to really get his feet on the right stepping stone and stuff like that. But another team that I'm really happy to see doing well right now is Indiana. They have 2 top 10 wins in their resume. I mean, that's something I didn't think I was going to say. this early at least, they absolutely stomped Illinois, and then you beat Oregon this week. I mean, it was a good game, great game, but they pulled away really at that end and outscoring in the last two quarters 14 or 17 to I can't do math, 17 to 10. So that was obviously the difference. There was multiple points where that game was tied, but Indiana's a team that I'm glad they're doing well. They weren't again one of the top picks in the Big Ten this year, but again, they look good, man. I mean, seeing their numbers here, fourth in points per game, scoring 44 points per game, it's absolutely ridiculous. Ninth in the country in rushing yards. They have some great backs, 35 touchdowns on the year, and holding their opponents to 11 points per game, which is unheard of in this era of college football, where it seems like nowadays any team really gets whatever they want now, and it is kind of interesting to see, especially a defense who's that well. Because everyone seems nowadays to get whatever chances they want. And then, I mean, you do have Ohio State at number one in the defense, but they're a buzzsaw. I mean, no one's stopping Ohio State, at least in my opinion. But Indiana, man, when you're facing two top 10 teams and you're holding them to a combined 30 points, that's a great stepping stone. I think Indiana's going to be a problem in a few weeks. I think they're going to continue to play as well as they have been, and there's just something to look for. I mean, they're going to be a good team, and I'm excited to see what they do. We'll take a look at their schedule quickly just to see how they're set to play, and as we inch the end of October in a few weeks, which is absolutely crazy, I would think to say, but seems to be flying by football season. So we're going to take a look at their calendar. So they play Michigan State. That should be a win. UCLA should be a win. Maryland should be a win. Penn State sucks now, so that should be a win. I mean, I think there's going to be a world where they win out. I think they do win out. I mean, they have an easy schedule the rest of the way. Um, yeah, they're going to win out, and I think they're going to compete for a Big Ten championship. They're going to face off against Ohio State, and that's going to be a great game to watch. Two buzzsaws going at each other, and that's a game that I will definitely be tuned in watching all 60 minutes of, and that's going to be a high scoring game. I think that again, there's two great defenses, but when you match up against two great offenses, I think offense overpowers defense, especially at the college level. Um, that's gonna be a show to watch. I think, yeah, looking at the Indiana schedule, they're gonna win out. I think Ohio State's gonna win out because they're clearly the best team in college football right now, and they rolled through everybody they even touch. So I mean, it's gonna be Indiana versus Ohio State, and that's gonna be a game to watch and something we're gonna keep an eye for. So let's just look at the games of what we hopefully get to be recapping here next week. We'll start with the MLB. I mean, the MLB at that point should maybe be at the tail end of the ALCS and NLCS. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well next week. And then by the time we are here next week, we'll be looking at the opening week of NBA, which I'm so happy to talk about. I'm so ready for NBA season. Um, it's gonna be a good season, I would think. Everyone's hurt, unfortunately, but the West is gonna be days better than the East. But I think the East has some sneaky teams that they need to watch out for. And then Monday Night Football, I think it's gonna be the Bills demolishing the Falcons. I don't know how they're only favored by 3.5. And then Washington over the Bears. I think those games are gonna be okay. Um, so we'll see. I mean, and then the NFL next week. Let's see any more key matchups. The Rams and Jaguars is going to be a great game. Um, yeah, this early slate, man. I'm not feeling this early slate because a lot of the teams that play early are just not that great. But the 4 o'clock games are going to be good. I mean, you have the Colts at Chargers, which is going to be a very, very good game, high scoring. I would like to think. And then Sunday Night Football is okay. And then you got the Commanders versus the Cowboys, which is going to be a good game. Commanders with a tough go against the Cowboys because it always seems to be a close game between those two teams, and it should be the Commanders winning, but we shall see. And then on the college football side, hopefully we get to talk about a few games. I mean, a good game is going to be Louisville or Miami. I know Miami is number 2 right now behind Ohio State, but I think Louisville could give them a run for the money. It's going to be one of their tougher games this year, coming off a bye too. I mean, you're going to be well rested, but Louisville is a good team as well. I mean, they'll give they gave Virginia a run for their money. They beat Pitt, who just beat FSU. So yeah, I think Louisville is going to give them a run for the money, but again, I could see it in that fourth quarter really Miami really separating themselves. And then looking at the Saturday slate, LSU Vandy is going to be a good game. Duke Georgia Tech is going to be a really good game. Oklahoma should steamroll South Carolina. Georgia and Ole Miss is going to be a great game on 3:30 on ABC. That's going to be a good game. That's a game that I will be definitely watching. Two SEC powerhouses. And then looking at the rest of the schedule, we got USC versus Notre Dame, which should be a good game, and they got Tennessee at Bama at 7:30, which should also be a good game. So I mean, there's good games on the slate. Utah and BYU, that's going to be another good game, a battle of a couple of Utah schools there. And then slate will be, let's see, just the all. I didn't get a chance to look at it. Yeah, I think those are the big marquee matchups. I mean, looking at the rest of the games that are in top 25, there's not going to be great ones. But again, those top 25 matchups, there's a lot of them this week, and it's going to be good. FSU going to Stanford for the ACC. That's going to be all right. Lafayette and Oregon State. Oregon State is one of the worst teams I think I've ever actually seen on television and watched. 0-7 right now to start the year. They get bust on every team they play. And not every team. I mean, they barely lost to Houston, but still. How? I don't know. Might be just more of Houston's play. But I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I want to thank everyone for listening and tuning in, and we will be back next week discussing a little bit more NBA since NBA is going to be right around the corner as the opening night is going to be the following day. So it's going to be Tuesday of next week. So we'll talk about that a little bit and maybe have some standing predictions and sneaky teams to watch. So I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will be back here, same place, same time, Monday at 9:30 on WIUR Radio.